At the recent Healthcare Design Show, HPFI exhibited several of their products targeted for healthcare facilities. While the focus was on healthcare, HPFI also has a focus on manufacturing furniture with respect for sustainability and the environment.
And Ken, what's HPFI doing to make its furniture ideal for the healthcare market?
Well, we've added recently Sentinel finish as a standard on all of our finished wood seating components. It doesn't have to be specified. It's there at no additional cost. Sentinel employs the silver ion process. Therefore, as I think most of us know, it's been long known as a powerful natural antimicrobial and antibacterial agent. So it assists in preventing the spread of infections without harm to human health. Disease-causing organisms on wood chair frames with Sentinel antibacterial silver ion process remain latent and are unable to propagate and soon expire. So the Sentinel antimicrobial can't be washed away, won't be worn off or depleted over time. Its effectiveness is really as powerful at the end of the life cycle as it was at the start.
Is there a similar antimicrobial option for the upholstery on HPFI seating?
Glad you asked, sir. Certainly is. We've partnered with several mills and distributors of upholsteries ideal for the healthcare market. The Krypton process was one of the first to be touted as specific and very useful for the healthcare industry. One of the key ingredients in the Krypton process is the silver ionization that we just discussed. However, Krypton fabrics are not the only option that's available. Several healthcare vinyls are now available with the silver ion actually impregnated right into the properties of the vinyl itself. And in that fabrication process, making it thus similar to the Sentinel finish, so it has the same permanency, if you will. It can't be washed away, can't be worn off, and it's going to be there for the entire life cycle of the product.
Ken, let's talk about the environmental aspects. What is HPFI doing along those lines of environmental and sustainability efforts?
Okay. Well, we're happy to tell the environmental story. At HPFI, we began the journey actually decades ago, long before the current and much publicized efforts of so many companies. Some examples of our actions are moving our manufacturing schedule from a standard 5-day work week to a 4-day, 10-hour day work week. That alone reduced emissions from our associates' vehicles driving to and from work by 20%. We've also been utilizing wood scrap to fire our own boilers to heat the manufacturing facilities during the colder weather. We also changed our lamination process at our case goods plant, which eliminated wastewater completely. We made that change actually so long ago that the scope of credit for our sustainability certification process, it's outside the scope of being included in that.
What has HPFI done for sustainability certification?
Okay. Well, a few years ago, our industry association, BIFMA, completed the E3 sustainability standard. It was adopted by ANSI, American National Standards Institute, and published in 2009. We adopted the E3 standard as our roadmap for our efforts at that time. E3 is really a multi-attribute standard for products modeled after the LEED program for buildings. So the E3 standard covers a number of elements, from materials to energy use to chemicals to even social responsibility. We have a green team that meets every week to assess and document all of our practices towards this BIFMA level certification.
Ken, I know a lot of people are familiar with LEED. So does this mean that your products are LEED certified?
Well, there is a misconception about LEED certification. Actually, LEED certification only has to do with building projects. It doesn't have to do necessarily with the product itself. We can contribute LEED points through supplying our furniture that is designed and built with these sustainability practices. We utilize recycled and recyclable materials return and even sell off our offall so that it's recycled as well. We use only wood products from companies that are certified to use sustainable forestry practices. These are just a few examples of our efforts that we're utilizing and documenting for the E3 standard, which, as I mentioned earlier, is modeled after the LEED standard.
Ken, I didn't hear you mention emissions. Is that part of the effort also?
Of course, it is a very important part of those efforts. Emission testing is one of the areas that we receive points for in working toward that E3 standard, and it is a significant credit. BIFMA has published a separate 117-page document, the X7.1 Furniture Emissions Standard, and that has been adopted by ANSI as well.
So where is HPFI in the process of certification?
Okay. Well, we have achieved the gold or level 2 and are working with one of the BIFMA authorized third-party certification bodies to publish and certify our accomplishments. But this is not a one-time done event. Certification is only good for a 3-year period and includes annual audits by the certification body.
Now, how can interested resellers and consumers of your products and services stay abreast of all these efforts?
Well, one step is obviously this video report, but we do communicate regularly with email blasts to the resellers and consumers in our contact database. And of course, we maintain up-to-date information related to these efforts on our website at hpfi.com. and the HPFI Online Marketing Center at hpfimarket.com.
And that is also where you will see the latest in products and services from HPFI. Sustainable furniture for business, healthcare, and education. We're big enough that we can, and small enough that we will. HPFI.